So I got this DVD in the mail a couple of months ago, Dr. Christine Anderson's Prenatal Yoga. And I thought, well, you know, it's not something I can completely relate to being a guy. So I called a publicist and said, can she do yoga for guys who can't stretch? And he said, she can do yoga for people who can't stretch. So that's what we're going to do today, yoga for people who can't stretch. Dr. Christine Anderson is here. Pleasure to have you here today. And I definitely have stretching issues. In fact, I worked out at the gym this morning with my trainer. It was the same old thing. In fact, he almost like broke my legs off trying to get me to stretch. But people have said to me before, you should go to yoga because it'll help your stretching. And I just want to say this, I always skip stretching. Because, you know, I feel like, oh, you want to hit the weights or start working out. So stretching is the first thing that goes. Right. You know? And do you think a lot of people do that? They just skip the stretching and go for the...
They do their workout for the maximum time they have and maybe do a few cursory stretches and off they go.
Yep.
It's often the
But that's not good.
It's not. It's one of the fundamentals of fitness. And actually, a lot of societies, not so much the Western society, but other societies gauge how young you are by how flexible you are.
Oh, really? Oh, I must be really, really old. Yeah, well, you know, that's true, because when I was younger, I mean, I used to do all kinds of stretches and things with the legs and stuff that I was trying to do again this morning, and it's been so long since I've done it, I definitely was in severe pain.
Well, maybe we can change all that.
I hope so. And so, but it's important because also, like, it can reduce injuries. And, I mean, if you're not warmed up properly, then you could probably pull a muscle.
You want to make sure your muscles are nice and warm before you start really working them hard, and then afterwards, it can help with the reduction of pain by making sure you're cooling down adequately. So stretching is really important. In yoga, stretching is one of the fundamentals, but again, with yoga, it really works on every single part, cardiovascular, strength, and with that, you're also stretching at the same time. So you get all three in one, so you don't have to do your stretching after. It's during the workout.
During the workout.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah, because I think, too, even then in the rest of my workout with weights and stuff, it's affected because, you know, above and beyond, like, say, preventing injury or something, I have kind of, in some cases, I have, like, a, what you call range of motion issues because, you know, you can't, I'm kind of hindered doing certain exercises because you can't stretch the whole way or do something. And it's not that the weight is too heavy, you know, it's just that I can't really
And guess what you're doing by doing that? You keep shortening the muscle. Shorter and shorter and shorter. So the more you do that, the less flexible you'll be.
And is it important to stretch a lot or do yoga if you do exercise the muscles a lot? For instance, I run a lot. And I always thought, oh, well, I run so much, you know, does that make your legs more flexible? But usually trainers will tell me, though, that like my legs are kind of tight or something, or that, you know, so is it just maybe you're working it too much but not stretching it, like, I don't know, building it up but not...
Right. Well, you're using your muscles while you're running. You're not really stretching them. Even though they're extended, as you're running, you're not really doing the work of stretching. So you've got to stretch as well as do the running. And so you can break it up. You can still do what you're doing. You can still do your running and maybe alternate days with some yoga. If you're lifting weights, you can fit that in. It's really good for athletic people to do yoga so that they really can make sure that all parts of their bodies are strong and flexible. And like you said, you're going to reduce chances of injuring yourself.
And how often should you do this? Is it a weekly, daily?
As much as you can do. And also, I have a teacher who said, one of the students in class said, how often do you do yoga? And she said, well, what is yoga? And it really is, what is yoga? It doesn't have to be some sort of formalized thing that you go to a class and you get in your fancy outfit and get up. You can do yoga throughout the day by just being mindful of how you're moving. How are you sitting? How are you standing? How are you moving?
Oh, so it's even...
And it really goes beyond that. Yoga means union. It means to yoke. And so that union of the body and mind, making sure that everything knows where it's supposed to be, and also your spirit. How are you feeling that day as well?
So there's the
So yoga's for everybody. Absolutely everybody.
Now it's interesting because you also are a chiropractor.
I am.
So you have, do you incorporate both of those together then? I mean, the chiropractic techniques into your yoga and vice versa? Does that?
Well, it certainly helps being a chiropractor because I have that background in body movement. And those who study yoga, if they're not doctors, they learn anatomy and physiology and movement. So I already had that benefit of knowing all those things. And really how the body moves is really one of the key components in yoga, because you're really concentrating on what your body is doing. You're not just flopping down into a stretch. So it's beyond stretching.
You've never seen me stretch then, because I flop down into the stretch, but that's not yoga.
You used to flop down into a stretch. That's going to all change today.
Okay. Well, I'm looking forward to this. So you're gonna correct my stretching issues.
I'm going to certainly try.
Okay.
I haven't seen them yet.
This could be a whole new thing. So if this is good, then I'm going to, I don't know, sign up for a class or something. So, but we're going to take a commercial. But when we come back, we're going to get down on the floor here, and Dr. Christine Anderson is going to teach me how to stretch.
Great.
With yoga. We'll be right back. All right, we are back with Dr. Christine Anderson today, and she's going to teach me how to do yoga, how to learn how to stretch. I want you to get up off your butt, get off the couch, get down on the floor with us here. All right, Dr. Anderson, what are you going to teach me here today?
I'm going to teach you that you've got to take your shoes and socks off.
Shoes off. Okay, that's right. So you can't do yoga with shoes on, huh?
You know, it really
my
is
socks?
hard to. Yeah.
Wow.
Absolutely.
You may get more than you bargained for today. I didn't know I was going to have to do this, by the way. I might need a pedicure
right.
before I...
And you know, a great stretch that you can do first thing in the morning is you can just sit up in bed, legs crossed, just reach on up straight.
So this is first thing in the morning getting out of bed. I should just sit here like this, okay?
Stretch up. Now, see how you're kind of leaning back like that? Try to bring your body up and forward.
Up and forward.
And take your palms and face each other.
Facing each other. Okay.
And even interlace them and stretch them all the way up.
Okay.
Now see how they're over here?
Okay. Oh.
Try to bring your shoulders back. So why don't you go ahead and bring your arms first down.
Forward.
And then bring your shoulders back so that they come onto your back. Because if you're like this, you're all hollowed out in your chest.
Okay.
So you want to bring your shoulders back and open the chest up. And then start to lift them up.
So you're just getting out of bed, stretching.
Yeah.
Okay, I can relate to that.
Breathe. That's the other fundamental of yoga.
Remember to breathe.
The breath really helps. And that's part of it, is that really the movement is with the breath. So you don't want to hold your breath in anything that you're doing.
Now, do you breathe through your mouth or your nose?
Breathe in and out through your nose.
Okay. Now, I read something.
You can go ha and exhale and let all the tension out, but
through the nose, okay.
Breathe in and stretch. Up, 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 up. And exhale, go ahead and just fold forward.
Is that good? Further forward?
Yeah. No, you're fine. That's good. And that stretches out your whole back.
Okay.
So first we just stretched the upper body, and now we're stretching right into the hips and the back. Do you feel that?
Yes. Should it be more in the lower back? I feel more like in the upper back or the shoulders, actually.
That's probably where you're tight.
Okay.
So, you know, that's part of it too, and then just reaching up and stretching back.
Again. Okay, stretching.
Good.
Okay. All right.
Fabulous. And you can anybody can stretch, you just have to have the right props. So
let's see. Okay. What props do I need?
Let's see. Have your legs out in front. I'm going to show you in a second.
Okay. Legs out.
Now again, see how you're all crunched like this?
Uh-oh.
You want to bring your body forward. Yes, and even use your fingertips behind.
Okay.
So really get on your fingertips and push your spine up. Not too back.
Okay, so
but up. Yeah, fingertips right
up
by your hips.
Okay, like this?
Even closer.
Closer.
Yeah.
Okay. Like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now push your chest up.
Push my chest up.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, instead of leaning back, lean forward.
Okay, I have an issue with leaning back, I think. Okay.
Because what happens is that you're going to start collapsing in your spine. And what we want to do is stretch the spine up. No. You don't want to collapse. Now, see, where you're having trouble is your hamstrings.
Yeah. I have a problem keeping my legs straight. They always want to bend a little.
Right, because your hamstrings are tight. So right now we're just stretching the spine up. I'm going to let you just keep bending your knees.
Okay.
So you don't have to worry about that. You just want to go with what you have. The thing that I want you to do, though, is get some action going on in your feet.
On my feet,
See how they're kind of dead? Flex your toes up towards your face.
Okay, like that?
Yeah, there you go.
And should I wiggle them or just keep them flexed?
You don't have to wiggle. And you can even separate your toes. And
separate my toes, okay.
Breathe into that. So do you feel some stretch up in your spine and your chest?
I do. I feel my hands, because I think I'm putting a lot of weight on my hands.
Well, you're
and
pressing back like this. So
try
just
to lighter touch.
Just try to lift up by using. Yeah.
Okay.
Should be a lot of work in the spine. I mean, this
yes,
is part of...
because back here, right?
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
yes, I
a
feel
lot
that.
of core work.
Okay.
But this is stretching and strengthening at the same time, as I said.
And do you think, is it the same thing that they'll tell you sometimes with other kinds of exercises where they'll say with the core, with like pulling in
It's absolutely
belly
the core,
button
because if
and-
you let go, you should be able to maintain what you're doing with your fingertips.
Did I maintain if I let go? Okay, I better put them back. Okay.
Yeah, there you go. Now, keep that lift and just
Okay.
lift up.
Lift
up
like
your hands.
this.
Yeah, and lean forward.
Okay.
Okay, good. Now, stay there and just take one leg and bring it in.
Okay.
So now we're going to work into your hamstrings.
All right.
And so part of this is that you have to have the right tools. I have a yoga belt. You can easily use a bathrobe belt or any belt that you have in the house. You can take it,
Okay.
a purple belt, of course.
I don't have many purple belts, but I have a black belt.
You can take it and use it to guide yourself forward.
Okay.
Okay? So you can
try
take
this?
that.
Okay. Actually, my trainer mentioned
And
this morning.
part of this too is that by trying to stretch out the hamstring, you want to engage your quadricep muscle.
Okay.
Yes.
So just give
So
a
you
squeeze
don't
like
want
that.
the foot to come
Oh,
off because you
foot
want the
down.
muscle to lengthen. Think in your mind that you want that muscle to lengthen and you want to
Okay.
breathe into it. Okay?
Is that better?
So if you don't have the belt, you can also just use your fingertips and lift up first. Lengthen along the back part, get the energy in the foot, so toes curling towards your face. And then as you exhale, you just start to hinge forward. You don't want to go too far because what happens is this is what people do. They go like this. Okay, I'm stretching.
I'd be like this. Okay, I'm stretching.
Yeah. No, you're doing
That's,
fine. You're doing fine.
Okay,
so you
so
want to
keep that.
start to hinge from the hips so that you can lengthen out through the
Hinge from the
spine at
hips.
the same time.
Okay.
And then you don't want to be like this. You just want
Like
to
I'm holding on for dear life. Okay.
you want to let everything release.
Nice. Okay.
That's
So I shouldn't grip the belt as tightly? Is that it?
You're
Maybe?
just using it for support.
Okay. So,
And so then on each exhale, you're hinging a little bit further forward.
okay.
So on each inhale, the chest is lifting,
Lifting.
not so far up, not your body, just your chest is lifting. And then as you exhale, you're hinging.
Okay.
Good. Good.
Like that?
Keep going.
Okay. Further.
But, you know, as this starts to have its limits, you just want to hold it there.
Okay.
And keep
so-
engaging your quadricep muscle right there.
Okay.
Keep engaging. That's it. That's what it's all about, is engaging.
Yeah, I've never been able to touch my toes.
That's right, you don't
I cannot
have
touch my
to.
toes.
But if you don't stretch, you'll never be able to touch your toes.
Can you touch your toes? Oh, wow. She's like, piece of cake.
Yeah, beyond. It doesn't matter, though. That's part of it, too, is you don't worry about what your neighbor is doing.
Okay.
You have to
I'll
listen.
focus right here.
You have to listen to your body and go inside, because you know what? Some days I may be tight, and I may be the one going, oh.
And I like something you said beforehand. You said even you as a teacher, you need this for yourself. I mean, it's,
Absolutely.
you know, anybody.
Just because I'm the teacher doesn't mean that, first of all, that I can do everything perfectly. Yoga is also about growing with every pose that you do, and you don't have to be perfect at it. It just is, you accept for what your body can do in the moment.
Now,
You don't get so hung up about, well, oh, I can't do that.
so doing something is better than doing nothing.
Exactly.
But now,
So
do you?
see this? See that?
Uh-huh.
You're tightening, you're tightening. You want to just hold and breathe.
Hold and breathe. So you don't believe in the pushing thing, where like somebody's behind you and they push on you to go forward?
If we're going to push on you, it's somebody who's gently going to be listening with you and saying, okay, he's on the exhale. Okay, and just taking it with you. But again, if they're pushing on you, this is what you're doing. Your chest is collapsing because you think you have to get your nose to your knee.
So you're trying to keep the chest out but forward.
Yeah.
Okay.
You want to do the other side?
Sure. That's right. I have two sides, don't I?
That's what I always
One side
say.
was enough. Okay.
That's
so.
what I always say. I have two sides.
Okay. So.
So what did you learn? Let's see.
Let's see. I know I want to just.
So why
breathe
aren't you
in.
using your prop?
Oh.
You know, it's
Fit the
just
belt.
one of those things, is you got it, you might as well use it.
Okay.
There. And see how much straighter your spine can be when you use your strap, and then you can lengthen down and get that full stretch.
And I'm assuming most people, one side's easier than the other.
Always.
Like this way. For some reason, this leg, I think it's a little easier for me to
Good.
straighten, I think.
Yeah, there's usually sidedness when it comes to stretching.
Okay. So is this good?
That's fine. That's great.
Okay.
Beautiful. All right.
Okay. And then I should do the
Perfect.
fingertip thing?
Well, the fingertip thing was just for me saying if you don't have the strap, you can use your fingertips to guide you. But, you know, you don't have to. That's not like, okay, I've done the strap, now I need to do the fingertips.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
All right. So where are we going to go from here? How about side stretches?
Side stretching, okay.
Yeah. So there's a lot of different ways to side stretch. And I'm just trying to think maybe the best way. Yeah, why don't we stay in this posture here,
okay.
and you just open up your knee further on an angle.
Okay, so open, wait,
So
so this one's in and that one's out?
Right, exactly.
Okay.
So, and again, for people who have trouble keeping their body centered over their pelvis, so if you're leaning back and you feel like, oh, I can't hold myself, you can sit on a block.
Okay, I think I definitely need to sit on the block.
Or
I
you
keep
can
leaning
sit
back.
on a folded blanket.
Okay. So
Or a towel.
Oh, that's pretty light. I thought it was a brick, but it's light. Okay. So I've got the yoga block here.
There you go. And see how much straighter you can sit up without feeling like it's a struggle just to do that.
That works.
So again, you can just start to slide your hand on the inside part.
Oh, on the inside.
Yeah.
Okay.
And again, part of this is keeping your chest open.
Chest open.
So you want to make sure that you're extended at all times in both directions. The
Okay.
bottom side as much as the top side.
Am I extended in both directions?
Oh, you're looking good.
Okay.
You take it over, and I like to press on my bent knees so that I can get
Okay.
a lift of my chest.
Okay.
And then you can hold that. And remember, everything can be taken as slow as you need to take it.
Okay.
Breathing and
So it's
using
not
your
a
breath.
rush, you just...
It's not a rush. Again, it's not like, okay, I stretched, I'm done.
And how long do you usually do most of these?
Oh my goodness. Well, normally when I take a yoga class, it's an hour and a half.
Wow. Okay.
But if I'm doing things on my own after, let's say I go hiking, I probably spend a good half an hour.
Half an hour. Okay, well, I'm going to hold this pose. We're going to take a commercial. We'll be right back with Dr. Christine Anderson teaching me and you how to do some yoga here, how to stretch. I may be frozen like this when we come back. And we are back with Dr. Christine Anderson today. I'm trying to learn how to stretch here with this yoga instructor. And you're going to, actually, you should have kept the pose because they should do what you do, not what I do.
No, this is perfect because that's taking it to the extreme and I don't want people to go there if they're not ready. So
you do have to build up over time.
You know, staying like this and stretching and lifting up is perfect. If you want to extend your arm over, that's fine as well.
Okay.
You can take this further if you're a yogi, but you would know what to do anyway, so I don't need to show you.
Is that the highest level, yogi?
You're a yogi right now.
I'm a yogi?
Anybody who does yoga is a yogi.
Yogi, okay. That's the official word.
That's right.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So what else do I get in my yogi training here?
So then take yourself and bring your body straight over. Yep.
Okay.
And again, what you're doing is you're stretching out this whole side of the body. And remember that foot action, you want a nice...
Toes up.
Good.
Or, yeah, toward the...
Exactly. And you want to extend and lift from the chest.
Extend and lift from the chest,
Yeah.
okay.
Exactly. Do you feel the difference when you do that? What happens?
Well, I do. I mean, yeah, you're not just like collapsed or slouched
You're
down,
not
I think.
collapsed.
Yeah.
There you go.
I'm also
And then you
feeling the
would come
stretch in my
up.
leg, but
And of course, yeah. And then of course you would do both sides.
both sides.
It's up to you whether you want to do that or not.
I'll do a quickie over here. So
Do a quickie.
like this.
So remember, when you're doing quickies, take it step by step.
I should get the form right, I figure. So.
Exactly. And just start to first go over to the side and maybe use your hand on your leg first to get that opening in the chest before you lift your arm up.
Okay. So
To raise the chest up towards,
okay.
yeah.
Is that better?
I think we'll get into your shoulders next because I can see you've got those tight shoulders. Exactly. And this is your tighter side, isn't it? This
I
is
think
my
so,
this
yeah.
is my tighter side.
So I have tight
this
legs
is-
and tight shoulders.
This is the side I carried my kids on my hip for umpteen years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
So if you use one side of the body more, then...
exactly.
I always carry my gym bag on this side. So that's probably...
Exactly. So that's another point. And people who are doing things repetitively, you want to try and mix it up and share the
both
weight on your
sides.
body so that you're not using one side more than the other, and that can cause some strain and disease in the body.
Okay, do I need the brick for the next one, or?
Let's see, how are we going to put you? Let's put you into, well, you say you run a lot too and you've got some tight quads. So let's try Virasana.
Okay, I don't know what that is, but I'll try it.
That's right. It's hero pose.
Okay,
and what you're going to do is you're going to start, keep that handy.
Oh, okay.
And I'll show it
Brick.
with and without.
Okay.
So keep that handy. You're going to come onto your hands and knees
Okay.
and take your feet just a little bit wider than your hips.
Okay.
And then you can sit back.
Oh, so
You want your knees together. Now,
knees together.
If you're tight, instead of sitting back, you can sit onto
I'm going to use the brick.
brick. Yeah.
Can I
And
put the
you want
brick side by side?
You want the toes straight back, and you want to make sure that there's equal weight between it.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is really good to help stretch the quadricep, really good for the top part of the feet,
I can feel it stretching.
really good for digestion as well. So you get some digestion benefit out of that.
Okay.
And then you can use your strap.
And what do I do with this?
You're going to take your arms, hold it just like this.
Okay.
I'll pretend my imaginary strap here. Lift your arms straight up.
Okay.
Good. And then start to take the arms behind, only going as wide as you need.
And,
Take them down.
okay. And what do you mean by that, as wide as you
We'll
need?
see how wide your arms are.
Uh-huh.
Some people might not need to take the strap so wide.
Oh.
So you want to try and take it as little apart as possible. In other words, you want your arms as close as you can together without straining them. But if you're tight, you're going to have to take them further apart. Yeah, there you go. Now,
Okay,
see that
yeah.
face? That wasn't breathing through it. So let's try that again.
Okay.
And
Well, this is Dr. Christine Anderson trying to teach me how to stretch here. I'm going to work on this. Thanks,
There you
everybody,
go.
for watching. We'll see you next time. Thank you,
Oh,
Dr.
okay,
Anderson.
great.
And I'm going to you want to show me how to do this here?